Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be showing you how to make your own PDF patterns with the Procreate app on the iPad. You do have to have an iPad and you do have to have an Apple Pencil or some sort of pencil. Mine is a knockoff. But to be honest with you, this iPad and all of this has been a huge game changer for my business and what makes it feel more professional and like I actually have a business that I can sell. So I am super here, like 10 out of 10 recommend Procreate, but that's up to you if you want to make this investment, or if you already have it, why not get it? I think it's just $10 in the App Store and it's a one-time purchase. I absolutely hate subscriptions, so super love that Procreate is a one-time buy. If you aren't interested in making this investment, I totally understand that, and in the future I'll be sharing another video of different ways you can make PDF patterns besides Procreate. So go ahead and subscribe for that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. To get started, I'm going to go ahead and open up my Procreate app and it will take you to this page. Here I'm going to click the plus button in the top right corner, and I always select the 4x6 photo, and so this is what will pop up and you can twist it around whatever orientation you like. But since I'm making an embroidery pattern, I'm going to rescale this to make it a square. I'm going to make sure Canvas tab is open, and I'm going to click crop and resize and then click settings. And let's say I want to make a 5-inch hoop, so I'm going to enter in 5 by 5 inches instead of the 4 by 6 and click done. And this is the piece of paper that it will give us. Now I'm going to take my Apple Pencil, which is not really an Apple Pencil, it's just a knockoff one for $30 off of Amazon, which it works great. It just doesn't do the calligraphy type writing, but that's what I have. And here, layers are going to be your best friend. So it'll already have you open on a new layer. I always like to use the calligraphy monoline pen. You can choose what color you want to sketch in. Since I'm making a pattern, I'm just doing black. And then I'm just going to do my best to draw a decent circle, and I'm going to hold it at the top to connect it, and it will actually create a more perfect oval, and we'll want to change that to make sure it's a circle. Then I'm going to click on the arrow button up here, or the mouse icon, and then with my finger I'm going to drag that to each of the 4 corners to make sure my circle is basically the width of the paper, to make sure it's a true 5 by 5 circle. In the little box icon up top, layers are going to be your best friend. You're going to want to ensure you're on a new layer every time you sketch something. So I created a new layer in addition to this circle, or else everything I draw would be on that same layer, which you'll notice later is a pain in the butt. So here I'm making a little arc shape. You can notice I made the shape and then I held down and it creates like an even nicer one. You can tap that button to kind of edit it and play around with it to make sure it's to your liking. Now I'm going to create another layer here to actually create the petals on this stem that I have. So here I'm just sketching some little leaf petals for the design that I'm working on. And whenever you are designing, if you ever make a mistake or you want to undo something, you simply double tap with 2 fingers. So take 2 fingers to the screen and just tap it like that, and it will disappear. You'll learn as you go that there is like so many things to know about Procreate, but right now I think it's just important to get the basics, and so in this video I'm just going to share the basics because there's even way more that I still don't know, and I've been using Procreate for about 2 years. So again, there you can see I'm undoing by tapping with 2 fingers. That's going to be one of your best friends too. And you can also zoom in with your 2 fingers, just like you were zooming in on your iPhone. So it really is helpful for being able to kind of see what you're doing, because there at the beginning I was like, I can't see. I keep putting this in the wrong place, but if you zoom in, that super helps. And there's just so many amazing features, and in this video we're just going to barely scratch the surface on that. So here you can see I went ahead and added a new layer, and now I'm going to add some little like dotted parts to this pattern. I don't even know what you would call this because we're creating our own pattern. I don't know what it is. But here I'm adding those in, and it's important that they're on a new layer, because if I want to erase something, or let's say I don't like this thing that I'm putting in there, if I had it attached to the same layer as something else, it's really a pain in the butt to have to like erase it without erasing other parts of the lines that you want to keep. So here, if I don't like this, I can totally erase the whole layer and nothing else is harmed. The layers are also super helpful if you just want to move one element. For example, if I click that mouse button and I just move it, I can move that one element and not my entire design. So layers are so helpful. Don't forget to add a new layer. If you want to combine a layer, you can simply hold on to one layer and drag it right on top of the next, and it will create a group. Then you can click on that group and move the entire group. If I'm confident that I love what I've put together in that group, I can go ahead and turn that back into one single layer, and I do that by pinching all of them together, kind of smushing them all with your thumb and your finger to make them one, and then I can go ahead and move that whole piece, and it's one layer. I can resize it, I can twist it, I can do whatever I want with it. Now if I want to make straight lines on my pattern, what I'm going to do is go over to the wrench and I'm going to turn on drawing guide, and then I'm going to push that button there that says assisted drawing. This is going to help you so much. So here I can make a straight line and I can move my pen literally like wherever on the screen, and it's still going to make a straight line. So this is a really beautiful tool that I love. And I do get a lot of questions about that one, of how to get perfect lines on my Instagram, because you can also make lines without using this tool by simply drawing a line and holding it steady, but it's going to be like crooked and not perfectly horizontal or vertical. So that is the secret to how to make perfectly straight lines. Here I'm going to add a new layer and show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to add some feet to this paw, and I am going to drag and hold this line and connect it where I want. Then I'm going to go ahead and do it to this side, and you can see it creates a straight line, and I can place it where I would like. I'm going to go ahead and make one more right in the middle. Also, I'm totally winging this design, and I think that these feet look really weird, but we're just going with it for the purpose of this video. Now, since I have 1 foot, I need 2 feet. So I'm going to drag 3 fingers on the screen, click copy, drag 3 fingers on the screen, click paste, and then I'm simply going to move it into place. So that's a really easy way to copy and paste something you've already created, but the thing to remember with that is it has to be in the same layer. So make sure you've created a new layer for that item, or else you'll be copying and pasting a bunch of other stuff you didn't want. If you ever want to delete a layer, so here I added too many, what I'm going to do is swipe to the left and click delete, and it's gone. Now I'm just going to doodle a bit and make my design. Now I'm going to show you kind of how to make a pattern more detailed or like more enhanced. And so here I'm going to add a new layer, but on the design as well, I'm going to create another layer, if that makes sense. Like there's layers to the right, but I'm also layering the pattern. So we're going to have some overlap here, but I think it's easiest just to go ahead and draw whatever it is you're going to draw. So here I'm just drawing a simple flower with a stem and a petal, and I'm going to put that on top of the design I already have going for me. And then I'm going to have to come in and erase other elements because they both can't be competing to be in the front. Like there's obviously one in the front and one is sitting in the back, and I want to go ahead and portray that in my design. And so I'll go ahead and show you how to do that, and that's like a pretty easy and fun way to level up your patterns. So I'm happy with the flower that I've drawn, so I'm going to go into my layers and connect the stem and the flower together so they're on the same layer. And I'm going to go ahead and move that where I want it. And this might take some like playing around with to figure out where you like it, and just imagining what it would look like if it didn't have all this overlap. So I found a spot for my flower, and now I need to pick which item is going to be in the front. So the flower is going to be in the front, so I need to click on the other layers like this little ferny thing, so that I can go ahead and erase whatever is behind my flower. And you can adjust your eraser to whatever width will help you here get it erased the quickest. And you just want to pay attention and look at your flower all over, because when doing this step it can kind of be easy to miss some spots, and then it looks a little bit confusing on your pattern. So just take your time and go ahead and erase whatever is overlapped, as there should only be one in the front. Now that that is all cleaned up, I'm just going to go ahead and add some different elements, and I'm also going to do some more overlapping. So here I'm just using my creative freedom and always adding new layers every time. Don't forget that. And so I'm just going to finish my design. Once I'm content with my design, and I'm going to go ahead and combine them all into one layer minus the circular hoop. Don't add that one. So here I have my design, and you might notice that this dotted line is all the way up against the border of my design on the left, but not the right. That means I've accidentally made like a little dot here, and I need to erase that so that the line will go back to the side. So I went ahead and erased that, and the line has not moved, and I feel like always something goes wrong in a video when I'm recording, and I don't know what happened here, but we're gonna go ahead and cheat. So if you go ahead and move your design all the way to the edge, it will cut off whatever's there if you click that little mouse button at the top. So now I have my design fully enclosed in this box, and I can go ahead and center it on my hoop or on the circle here, because I want to make sure that it's lined up for my design. If I'm going to stitch it on my own hoop or if I'm going to sell it, you want to make sure it's nice and centered, and so that's how you go about doing that. And here is our final product pattern. Beautiful. Okay, before we part ways, I just want to show you a couple more features of the pen, which I think are important to note for beginners. So here with this bar, you can make the pen bigger or smaller as you want. If you tap with your finger, use 2 fingers and tap on the screen, it will undo that. If you want to redo it, tap with 3 fingers. If you want to copy that, swipe down with 3 fingers. If you want to paste it, swipe down with 3 fingers. So these are just a couple shortcuts to help you get started. I know they're a bit tricky to learn at first. Also with the pen, I always use this monoline one, and if you go into the stabilization tab, you can play around with how stabilized your pen is, and just different elements of that. And again, I think just play around with this, see what you like and what you don't like, and set the settings to what you prefer, because here you can kind of see with my pen that I can make really sharp turns and little squiggles like nobody's business. But if I edit this little line here and I do it really high, it's a lot harder to make like 90, well, you can make 90-degree turns, but you just feel on your pen it's really different. And so You just have to play around with it and figure out what's best for you. And honestly, that's what Procreate's about, is you just have to figure out what's best for you. This again is just a very basic intro to it, because even I don't know so much of the capabilities that it has. I'm still learning, but this is a great place to start, and I wish you the best of luck on your hand embroidery journey. Hope you make some beautiful patterns. I'm sure you will. And if you are interested in more hand embroidery content and creating patterns and selling and creating a business that is actually selling, more specifically I think on Etsy, but if you are interested in that, go ahead and subscribe, because I have lots of content coming your way. I've been brainstorming and I'm so excited, because my heart behind this is to see you guys succeed and kind of show you what's worked for me, and hopefully like help you better, more so on your way. Okay, thanks so much, and happy designing, my friends.